Welcome, everyone, to Megadad's Live, episode 120. We are so glad you're here on today's show. We're going to be spilling the beans on our holiday wish list while also talking about the mountain climbing game Jusant, as well as the strategy game Lamplighters League. It's going to be a great show, so strap in because this is Megadad's Live. So we went shopping at the Mall of America a couple weekends ago, or maybe it was even last weekend. And we went to the Toys R Us grand opening at the Mall of America, which is super cool. Everybody should go if you're in the area. Super cool. I'm very excited that it's back. And we were in one of these stores, and they handed out these buttons. And they were Disney buttons. And apparently it was like Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse's birthday, right?
I missed it.
You didn't even send a card, did you?
I got to call them.
Wait, they have the same birthday?
This is what I want to bring up.
No.
This is what I want to bring up.
Don't freak me out right now.
So my kids got these buttons, Mickey and Minnie's birthday. And I said the exact same thing. I'm like, wait, they have the same birthday?
Ew.
And my thought was that Mickey and Minnie were shacking up.
Yeah.
This leads me to believe that they're actually siblings. And I don't know if anybody else, like, is this common knowledge? Are they actually brother and sister? I thought that they were love interests.
No.
You know what?
No, because third grade choir, we had to learn the song of like Mickey and Minnie on a Moonlit Night, which is like it's like a weird romantic song about those two.
About incest.
There can't possibly be. I mean, maybe there's like fanfic out there or something, but there's got that can't. No,
So you were under the same impression that I was.
Oh, they're doing it.
Megadad's Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Megadads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
So Walt was a real creepy dude, and we know this. It's documented, right? And now you're connecting all the dots for me, man, because have you seen wedding photos? Do they have children? I don't think so. Here's what I'm thinking. It's a beard situation, loveless marriage, something's going on, but it ain't kosher, all right? It ain't natural.
No matter what's going on, there's a reason that we don't know the truth, is what you're saying.
So you confirm this. You're saying it's their birthdays.
I haven't done the research.
Oh, you haven't done the research
because I'm kind of nervous now.
Conspiracy theory. Yeah, don't ruin it for yourself. Seriously.
I mean, maybe it's one of these things that I don't actually want to know.
Yeah, I think that's a rabbit hole better left unexplored.
It's like what's in a hot dog. Like, doesn't matter. I have one aside. I got this story that I just have to get off my chest because kids are so adorable. And it was the most beautiful moment in my parenting career so far. You know how kids are young and they like make you things and they like draw and they say, oh, this is our car. You know, this is my school. And it looks like, like Picasso, like very abstract. All right, let's just be real. So, my daughter is, potty trained, but she goes in like the little potty. So the other day,
I missed the little potty.
She went, and I was like, "Okay, are you done? Whatever." And then she stands up and she goes, "Oh, Dad, look, that's me, and that's you, and that's Mom," pointing in the toilet. And I said, "Oh, that's beautiful. Good job. Did you make that for us?" Just like I would with any other art piece. So we are selling these in a museum. We're gonna.
Your daughter
like
made shit art?
It's like a Banksy. Okay, this is the new thing.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Look, it's innovative. It's cutting edge. And it's controversial.
The corn is the eyes.
It made me feel something. So it's art.
It was it was as is, right? You didn't walk in on her designing.
No, there was like.
He's like, hold on, I'm working on the shading.
Don't look yet.
It was. It was definitely, she chose her mediums ahead of time and didn't do any like post editing it was live production.
Chose her mediums by like eating a bunch of carrots beforehand and not, I got it. Yeah.
I love giving gifts in general. Like I want to give you something that's going to make you cry, something heartfelt, like a vacuum. Quick question for y'all. No limits. What's on your Christmas wish list? We're talking no limits. One item though.
Like no limits. I mean, if we're going for it,
you want a pony? It's a pony.
I want a EV pony. I'm a really big fan of. Yeah, I'm a really big fan of Rivian. No, I want to get myself the Rivian SUV. It's a goal for some time in my life.
I gotta look this up. Rivian SUV.
They're just dope electric vehicles. And
do you have an EV right now? Or no?
I don't. I like. Eventually, I'd like to move in that direction.
Too. Wow, this looks awesome.
Right?
Who makes this? Rivian is the manufacturer.
It is the.
Are they new? This is wild.
Yeah, they haven't been around super long.
It's beautiful. What color?
I don't know. I've dabbled a little bit, but then I'm all like, well, I'm just sad I don't have it. So I haven't played around with the customization too much, but something bold, something. Don't give me a gray. Don't give me black. Give me if they have a bright, vibrant blue or something. I would.
They do have a bright blue. They have a cobalt blue. They also have some type of gold tan thing going on. Good one. That is awesome. Yeah. I would like to go EV too. I mean, I don't need the fuel. I think it'd be more efficient and all that for us. Adam, pie in the sky. Mm-hmm. What are you getting? What are you opening up?
Jennifer Connelly. Yeah.
Adam, that sounds terrible to me because I am happily married. I would be so upset.
You said no limits.
Jen Connelly, get out of here. I'm sorry. Shoo. Put something on. Put something on and get out of here. For me, I would have to say, I should say a car or something like that, but I would really enjoy one of the top of the line VR systems with all the trimmings because it's such an expensive thing to get into. However, you have to experience it. Rich people like Adam can do this, but once you get your hands on that and you realize that you can have gaming experiences that are just unmatched. I'm talking about the 4K in each eye type stuff, right. No cords. The latest stuff that they have, that would be pretty fantastic just because I know what's out there, and majority of the people due to pricing will never be able to afford it. Other than that, just a super amazing GPU so I could play PC games all the way up. If you've ever played on a really good PC, it's you can achieve things that look incredible compared to consoles. Consoles are beasts for the money, but if you invest $2,000 in a PC, $1,000 let's say, you really get an amazing experience graphically. So gaming stuff is what I would do. Nothing practical, please. I should say a car. Our car is on its last leg. A Swiffer. I'll take I like Swiffers. Yeah.
I Swiffered yesterday.
Oh, there we go.
Everybody loves a good Swift. It's time once again for the Megadad's Holiday Special. We hope you've been extra good this year because we have our biggest show ever, featuring your favorite Megadad's characters. We'll have sing-alongs, baking disasters, gift giving, and of course a visit from Santa himself. So make sure you mark your advent calendar because the Megadad's Holiday Special will be airing live December 22nd at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, only at youtube.com/Megadads. We'll see you there. All right, Antonio, I am really excited to hear about Jusant.
Jusant just released on, I played on Game Pass, and it is one of those games that I can't recommend highly enough that you try. It has gameplay mechanics that push things forward in a way where you're missing out if you don't experience it. At the same time, it's not like I've played a lot of like games that are like indie, that are fascinating, that are I gotta see the end of this, and I don't feel that way about like beating it to the end. But it being available on Game Pass, if you have the option, I would say to definitely try it. I'm not one usually to play these games that are kind of artsy, kind of smaller experiences that are not about like action. You know, it's like this is more of an experience. But I've recommended and played a lot of games recently that I've very much enjoyed in that genre. So if you are one of those people who play games for the fresh experience, and that's like, I want to see something new, then go in spoiler free. Try not to read anything about it, even see screenshots. I went in completely blind, and I'm glad that I did, and still gave it a shot. So skip ahead from this one if you like not being spoiled at all, because when I talk about the gameplay, it's pretty much one of the biggest spoilers. So Jusant is a story about this person who's roaming through the desert, and you are coming up to this big monolith, like a big tower, and you begin to climb. And the game mechanics in this game are such that you control your grip with the left and right bumpers. So when you reach out with the stick and aim your hand, then you grip with the LBRB. Then you reach with your other hand, and then you grip with LBRB. If you were to release LBRB, you would fall. And you have to do that sometimes to get and drop down to a lower elevation. And what's interesting about this game is your handholds are in game. You must get the handhold. It's not going to do it for you.
It's not Assassin's Creed.
Right. So in other games, climbing is typically in games have been a fun activity. Like traversal can be very exciting. You can almost build games around that. Assassin's Creed, like you're saying, I loved Assassin's Creed climbing, but when you hit up, as long as something is there, you're like, oh, part of the fun was like, oh, that's what he grabbed onto. Right. I didn't have to make the decision, but it was really cool how I didn't know he was going to grab onto that little nook. And that was the extent of climbing there. In Zelda, it's like you can climb on anything. It's just as long as it's a surface, he's going to kind of grip nothing and kind of go up. For this, you have actual rock climbing handholds, and they take different forms and things like that, which is very interesting because you are, as you climb, needing to pay attention to the terrain and to see is something there that I could grab onto. And the mechanics just evolve from there. You can leap and give yourself oomph and do like a double skip up and try to like hold on. And then it gets really interesting where you have a stamina meter. And what you can do is you can hold one hand and shake your other hand. You're like, oh, my arm hurts. Your stamina back. And it does it in a very cinematic way. So it doesn't just start and stop with this unique climbing. Then they really start blowing your mind. There's a rope mechanic where you tether down, and you could put a tether and zip down a mountain. And then you realize about quickly, like 10-15 minutes in, your free form can go wherever. And you can put a temporary hold in the mountain and create a new tether point. So you create a tether with your rope, and it's pretty smooth. You jump off a cliff, and then you just hang, and then you can start swinging, and then put another tether. Now you're swinging from that second point in the line, and it just keeps unraveling. And you are on this huge mountain in this very beautiful indie game like style, and you're traversing through a locale that is a tower of like it's a civilization that has packed up and left. So it's like the remnants of people who were there before. So you see homes and like how this tribe lived and things that they left behind, and like a little cafe. And it's a beautiful experience of like you're kind of feel like an archaeologist in a way. And the story unravels that I won't spoil and that I fully don't understand, because it's one of those, what's going on here? Why am I climbing? What am I discovering? And it's a very beautiful game with a key experience. I would say play it, period. And that's where I would stop if you just want a high level. The game is the game has some drawbacks, right? So you have climbing as your main mechanic. However, it kind of gets into some tropes after that. So you'll have a companion. You'll have some very simple systems that are all kind of indie games are. You have a silent protagonist, and it's a mystery of what's happening. And the way that the method that they tell you what the story actually is environmental storytelling, but it's then notes that you find. The problem is this note just pops up, and I think for the sake of being able to be delivered in different languages, like the paper is like hieroglyphs and like old, it looks old, but then it's in Arial font, and it's in like modern English, and I'm like, this is not jiving well. It's like told in a very weird way, and that is what you're collecting, is the story as you go. Aside from that, you're not really doing a whole lot of unlocking of like items. You're not purchasing anything. You're not really finding other collectibles that are meaningful. So it's like I'm going, and the gameplay is the only thing that's keeping me going. And in a frustrating way, why am I doing this? And I think as a hot take, it's like, why are we still doing these games that are, oh, what's really happening? Like, and you find out at the end. I hope that they nail it, but they haven't nailed it in the journey enough to make me want to roll credits. And that's like my takeaways. So I believe the game's gotten some 8s and things like that, and that's kind of where I am. And I think that if indie people didn't put themselves in this box of, okay, we have this great idea, great art style, but also we just kind of have to do this like, mystery thing. Like, I just feel like it's a very short experience. So it's made to be something, but I'm just had a little too much of that something lately, if that makes sense. Okay. You guys have any questions?
Would you say that this
Jusant? Jusant means a receding tide, I believe, in French.
Huh. Would you say that it's more like a chill vibe, or is there like adrenaline in the climb? Like, I feel like mountain climbing can be one thing or the other, or maybe even both. Like, it can be like a Zen experience, or it can be like
absolutely
kind of a tense one.
It's thrilling to do the, like, oh, I found the hold and I jumped to it and I got it. And I have to explain this mechanic. Did you see the movie Masterpiece Cliffhanger with Sylvester?
Is John Lithgow in this?
Check this out. So you hold the rope, and this is the mountain.
I like this.
Describe Adam for the people who aren't watching.
Okay, Antonio is like, he's pulling on something. I can't hear him because he's too far away from his microphone, but he's swinging. Looks like Pitfall. Oh my! This is great video.
So you have the rope and you're dangling, but your feet are kicking across the mountain to give yourself momentum.
Like wall
and
running.
You're wall running, swinging, and it is thrilling when this works out and you get to a spot that you're like, wow, I could get there if I just did this combination of moves. The problem is two things. One, there's nothing to find once you're there. There are like little environmental storytelling monoliths that will give you a little bit of lore, but it's not that good. And if there was something to collect, some reason to find that secret area, like Metrovania style, this game would have gone up a whole 1.5 points. But imagine having all this freedom and having nothing there once you get there. It's very disappointing.
Couple things. One, I think you'd hate Death Stranding.
Yeah, I played Death Stranding. Halo
2,
Infinite had this problem.
I think you're going to be the kind of guy that when you die, whatever is at the end, you're going to be like, what, that's it? Like, I feel like this game is perfect for me because I'm so much the guy where it's like the journey is the point.
Yeah.
Like, I love living in the moment, and I love experiences like this where it's like that is the reward, is having that moment, is why I made Death Stranding my game of the year. And I think this kind of game, like you said, it's for somebody. I think it's for me. I really want to play this.
So the last thing to say, because it's right on point with what you're saying, is the stamina mechanic is like dangerous, right? You're running out of energy, but what ends up happening is other things will sap your energy, which is great. So it gets more difficult and ramps up the challenge, but big miss, you cannot fall. There is no fall damage. There's no... Like,
oh, really?
So it feels not like you're not on a mountain. It feels like you're in a stage, which is super disappointing when you're so vertical and everything is so tall. But play it. Long story short.
Yeah.
It sounds like the whole time you were explaining the climbing mechanic, all I could think of was Astro's Playroom. Mm-hmm. Where you the part where you play as the monkey and you're swinging around and you have to like put the hands in the right spot, because I had a blast with that, and I'm like,
it was a very good experience, and I did play that as well. In Halo Infinite, you have a grapple hook that gives you incredible mobility like you never had before in the series, and there are areas that you could just go and explore, but again, there's nothing there, so the climbing, the movement is so fantastic, but then it's like, I believe that you could build a core game with these same mechanics that would be so much more exciting if they lean more into the action adventure aspect of it. But for one reason or another, they chose to tell this story with this pacing, and this is what we have. So it's a wonderful thing to experience. Definitely try it. It's criminal that more people haven't talked about the Lamplighters League. It came out like at the very end of September, and it's basically a game that's in the vein of XCOM. So we have turn-based strategy combat. The thing about this game is the whole vibe and the setting. So it's in like this alternate reality, late 1800s. It's kind of like a spies against Nazis type thing. Like you're against this evil empire, and you are a band of misfits that come together that are trying to foil this plot of a world-ending takeover of this magical power, right? But the noir style is like thick in it. So you have a guy who looks like Indiana Jones who dual wields pistols. You have this femme fatale who ends up being incredibly strong, and you have this other woman who's like a cult like thing where she like poisons people, somebody who heals. Everybody's like Indiana Jones, put it that way. And it's like you're in the Temple of Doom, or no, the Last Crusade, and that's the setting of where you are. So you're going on rooftops of Cairo, and you're in jungles of wherever, you're in rooftops of London, all this stuff, and you are spies and mercenaries who are fighting a Nazi-like thing, and they have the spooky element of it. So then it's almost like harnessing like a ghostly power. So you'll be also fighting zombies who are on fire, and phantoms that like can get places quicker. And you have turn-based strategy where you are either using like knives or fists or guns or a number of explosive items to fight against either people who also have shotguns, sniper rifles. There's this big hulking guy who has a flamethrower, and he'll like run into you, knock you down, and then set you ablaze. And it's an awesome aesthetic that's going on, and it permeates.
Visuals are cool.
Oh, it is so nice. And the music is like smooth jazz. Like
what's it like? Oh, smooth jazz.
Yeah, it's like
come on.
Give
me some jazz.
If you like Indiana Jones vibe,
yeah,
this is it. Which I thought was very interesting, because a lot of the I love XCOM, And it's a very like in XCOM you're fighting aliens, very futury, but familiar. Whereas this, I'm like, I think they took a big swing as far as the setting. And what ends up happening is you go back to base in these games. So in between missions, you go back to your base before you start and you equip your characters. There's a lot of unlocks to earn. If you get the secondary objectives or do a hard thing, you are rewarded and you get better weapons and better skills and fun skills. And in the base, your characters talk to each other and you can recruit them. They can die forever. And as you go, they start chatting, and some of them are like, I'm here for the money. And then other ones are like, I care about our cause. And then the vendors speak to you, your group speaks to each other, and then the mastermind, the person who recruits everything, is kind of like a Sean Connery-esque type, old wise man, but him and the rest of the cast. This is some of the best voice acting I've ever heard. It is on theme, delivered very emotionally, and it's not long and drawn out. So when they do talk, it's like short and sweet, but I'm like, whoa. Like relationships start to form at base after every week, after every mission that passes. And then like, is this a love interest thing? Like, oh, this person really might leave. Like, I wonder if the game will have a mechanic like that. It wouldn't be the first time that it happens in a game like this. And then you have the combat. So if you ever played XCOM, you have turn-based, and then you have a movement that you can do. So some characters are a little quicker than others, meaning they could cover more ground. And then you have you try to use synergies in your group. So if you have like someone who maybe gets extra strength once they kill someone, you let that person deliver the final blow on an enemy, so they get that boost or an extra turn. You want to use fire on the fire weak enemies, a lot of grenades, a lot of like, oh, I'm masked in smoke, so I can get around you and knock you out and take you out before you even see me. And it's really, I love it, and it's a game that's kept me coming back. I liked XCOM, and I love this, and it's won out against other games that are, just, I have so many games available to me with Game Pass, things that I haven't finished. Now I have some break time, and I keep coming back to this, which I think speaks highly of the whole thing. So the Lamplighters League by Harebrained Schemes it's just a really good game. It has some technical issues. It's not perfect, but I want to upgrade the next skill and see how I can make it powerful. I want to get this person a new vest to protect them, or they have a card system. It's like some perks that you can unlock as well. It's like if you set someone on fire, it's 40% more damage type thing. So it's a really good game that I would highly recommend if you're into turn-based tactic games.
I'm actually like really happy to hear you say all of these things, because the only thing that I've heard about that game, and first off, it's we've hit two of the genres that I typically avoid. Turn-based tactics is is right up there with puzzle games. It's just not something I venture into. So the game never actually held a lot of interest in me in the first place. But the only thing that I have heard of it is that it just has seemingly pretty disappointing numbers, even being available on Game Pass. It's just not getting hasn't gotten much of a following, but you seem to be having a really good time with it. So I just wonder, is there anything that sticks out to you that you think is holding it back? Is there something that's just, do you think it's a genre thing, or is there something there that's just like, well, I could see why this would be a problem?
The frame rate drops a lot. There's like some glitches here and there. It's an unpolished game in a lot of ways, and it's a slow burn in the beginning. So like the relationship aspect didn't even present itself in the way that really started to intrigue me until I got pretty deep in. XCOM has a thing where there's a system where if you're on a clock, you have to do certain objectives in time or something bad happens, enemies get stronger, you get weaker. So there's like a doomsday clock, multiple of them, and you have to defeat a boss, or if you keep putting that off, things will get harder, you'll get locked out of something. Like, it's a very punishing mechanic, and it's one of the things I struggled with in XCOM, and it's present here. The only other thing is, if you pick the wrong skills, if you don't understand the combat and how it all clicks, what the game wants you to do, then it's going to be very punishing. I think I'm playing on medium, not hard, and it's, if you go in not using everything at your disposal, high ground, pick up an item from a dead enemy and use it. Like, make sure that you have someone in your squad that synergizes well, someone that could heal. You know, if you're going into this type of stealth mission, use a stealth character. You have to be thinking. It's a thinking person's strategy game, and it's not going to have mass appeal. And I think XCOM is like that in a way. It's a slow burn in the beginning, and the story really keeps me going. Someone called it repetitive, which is a hard criticism for me to swallow, because most games have a loop. Whether it's like, if you're not calling a first-person shooter repetitive, you know, or Madden or something like that, then you're not. You have
it's all
to,
about if that is
nuanced,
suited
right?
to you.
Exactly. So, slow burn, I would say, and technical limitations for sure. I could see how the setting. I mean, who wants? It's not something you're typically served up, like that type of era.
That seems like the most appealing part of it to me, honestly.
Yeah,
I
loved
the
it.
Look of it. Yeah,
it grew. Everything grew on me.
You said jazz, so like that's cool.
Yeah,
I like jazz.
Definitely give it a try if you can. Again, I played it on Game Pass, and I'm quite deep into the game, and I see myself just coming back to it. I really enjoy it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Megadads Live. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. Stay tuned, because on December 22nd, we're coming at you with the Megadads Holiday Special. Have yourselves a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.